welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. This jacket, honey, just got me feeling like something. Welcome on in, y'all. Come on in, come on in. This is Coco's house. Yes, it's a little different. I have it in my stories time setup, but this is actually going to be the setup when I'm by myself or sometimes when I'm with certain guests. But this is an actual Coco's house. And today I don't have food, but I have my favorite snack, Twizzlers, the orange kind. I actually just recently fell in love with the strawberry smoothie, but you see I only got one left. Lord have mercy. I got my water. And that's about it. Today, y'all, we are literally about to get into it. We're about to talk about friendship. We're about to talk about the friendship, my friendship dynamics, my perspective on friendship, my views on friendship. How do I think friendship should be, or not be, but in my world where I see friendship and how I see it or how I approach it. So, y'all, I want y'all to sit back, relax, grab your favorite wine, grab your favorite snack, grab whatever you want to, because literally this is about to be a sickening, amazing, fierce Coco's house. It was, I think something, and you know this is a sidebar. I was watching the Tyler Perry's, I was watching the Tyler Perry's studios grand opening, and they had to walk the red carpet, and Shirley Ralph was on there, and they said, Shirley Ralph, what kind of hot girl summer do you want to have, or hot girl fall do you want to have? She said, I want a fierce and fabulous fall. So I've been feeling like that ever since, fierce and fabulous. I think that's why I put out the orange thing. And also it's October, and oranges and these tones are like super, super popular right now. But like I said, sit back, relax. This is Coco's home. I'm at a certain place when it comes out to friendship. I'm at a certain place when it comes out to having friends. I think the older you get, and this is so true, and a lot of my OGs and my peoples, like, Miss Washington and stuff like that, you know who you are. Y'all, they really told me, like, friends is only going to be there right now. You young, y'all want to be friends, But 9 times out of 10, a lot of y'all not going to be friends 10 years, 5 years down the line. You do not believe that until you kind of get 10 to 5 years down the line, and you look back and you say, oh my God, I know him, we cool, but I don't even associate like I used to. I don't even fall on after that friendship like I used to. So with that being said, like, it's so crazy how you're so close to somebody when you're younger, and y'all friends when y'all younger, and then it just all completely changes. Like, whoa. But anyway, so I'm just gonna go briefly, and not briefly, I'm sorry. I'm about to go into my friendships and my dynamics, basically. Where have I been through all of this? So basically, and I want to start, I guess, in my adulthood. I'm gonna take away the childish friendships, and I'm gonna say my friendships when I was younger is childish, because 2 of my best friends are people who I met when I was a lot younger, before any of this was really what it was. Like, 2 of my friends, were there for me back in the day. So I cannot deny that at all. So with that being said, I'm gonna start as an adult. So as an adult, I realized, and as a girl, when I started transitioning, I realized that friendship was not what I expected it to be. I always wanted to just have a crew of friends who was just my gang, and we was like the TV show. But it's not like that. Like, it's really kind of like, if you mesh, you mesh. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's no in between. You know what I'm saying? When you're a child, you can still hang out with your cousin friend, even though that's your cousin friend, because it's just, we about to go outside and we about to play. But this day and age, we not doing that, because we like, I'm not going to the club with her, or I'm not doing this with her, or I'm not with her, because we have a certain dynamic of friends. So with that being said, I just want to start, and I want to touch, because this is something that's been really on my heart, because it's been apparent that it's been talked about organizations, and if you know anything about the LGBT or gay or whatever, we have different Greek letter organizations. They are their own entity. No pun intended. Not in relations to any of the black ones. So these are their own standalone organizations, and I was a part of one of those organizations that was a standalone organization. Actually, I had a high title in that organization, and I absolutely love that organization. Still do to this day. I mean, I feel like I'm still a part of it. But we had friends or a group of people who all collectively came together, and we decided that we wanted to create, we decided that we wanted to create an organization, or it was really a person who came up with the idea, and we all attached on to that idea, and we all became founders, and how that goes if you know anything about organizations. So skipping ahead, our organization did not thrive to the heights and levels that it was supposed to due to things get in the way. You know what I'm saying? You are friends with these people, but y'all are trying to work for an organization and make that organization better. But you start noticing that your friends aren't really looking at you as a friend once you get a certain position. Your friends treat you a certain different type of way once you get a certain position, or they want a position, so they feel you don't deserve a position. So it's just all of these intertwined hormones, and I found that in my organization, it was so many undertone things that they didn't like about me, or they didn't like about the president, and they didn't like about whatever the case may be. And it was never really said until we had a big, huge blow up, which that almost killed her. It almost took my girl out, which is, the organization. But it didn't at all. By far, it didn't take her out. It honestly gave her a new skin. It honestly gave her a new outlook. I think all organizations have to go through this. I think things like that happen. But the way it was done was so poorly taste. And these people are supposed to be your friends. These people are supposed to be the people who got your back. But it was so many people were still, first of all, money was stolen. People talked about you behind your back. It was groups. It was sideline groups within the groups. It was all types of things that just was kind of like, what? Like, it was so many moments where I just sat there and I said, are these really my friends? Are these people who I really want to get to know? Like, these people who I go into situations with an open heart. That's one of my biggest downfalls. I go into situations with an open heart. I go into situations with a mind frame that I love you, you love me, or we're cool. I feel cool with you, so you feel cool with me. But in a lot of those situations, when I walked into them like that, we were not cool. Or I thought we was cool, but they really didn't care for me, or I wasn't this girl, or And that's another thing. That's another subject that I'm going to touch on is how dare people, it's touchy. It's such a touchy thing. It's such a touchy thing. Y'all had went on ahead and opened up my candy, honey, because, baby, it was starting, I needed to pick me up, because I was starting to feel it. So, with that being said, like, you really learn people once you become an adult. You really understand people and understand how their mind works once you become an adult. You think people are your friends because they say hi to you, they call you sis, they call you whatever the case may be. But a lot of times these people are just putting themselves into an opportunity, or they just see themselves in an opportunity, or they see you for an opportunity, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. I've always been a person to be a genuine friend. I've always been a person who always loved my friends with all my heart. But I've always been a person who was misunderstood for loving for my friends, or treated a certain type of way because I was a more gentle spirit with my friends. And I've been in situations where I was made ashamed of being a gentle person, or I was made ashamed of showing my emotion, and I was made ashamed, and it was so wrong, and I needed to do this. It's just like, you have to find, and what I've noticed in my game and how I got this set up for me is what makes a person really want to be friends, or what makes a person really want to last in your life, is how they really honestly treat you when no one's around. How they treat you when it's just you and them. when they really don't want you to talk and they really don't want to hear all of that. And when you do try to have a conversation, it's a problem, or it's like you don't understand. But when you with people, all of a sudden it's a whole ordeal, it's a whole game, it's a whole this, it's a whole that. So that's the thing for me that makes it so hard. Oh, that's the thing that makes it so hard, because you really want to be friends with these people a lot of times. You really want to be cool with these people, but they don't show you who they really are in the beginning. They wait until certain opportunities present themselves and then they show who they are. So, with that being said, it's just like, and let me say this. This is not a bashing, hold on, pause. This is not a bashing people, or I'm talking about certain people. I am talking about my experiences, yes I am. I am talking about situations that I've been in, yes I am. But at the same time, this is also not a bashing, because I have friends that I love to the core. Listen, I didn't say nothing because I want you to fill it in. I have people who I love to the core. I have friends. I have had people, Chastity, the lady who sat next to me in my last episode of Coco'shouse, that is my girl. And that's another thing. I was always a girl, I was always a girl who loved to hang out with the boys. I was a girl who loved to hang out with the guys. I was that girl who really enjoyed hanging out with the gay guys and stuff like that. I didn't start getting sisters, or I didn't really start hanging out with girls until later on. And so really later in my years, in Detroit, I ended up moving in a house with two of my dear sisters. Like they're my sisters to this day, Kelly and Chi Chi. These are my girls. We ended up moving into a house together with a couple of, we ended up moving into the house together, and I really got to feel the true dynamics of being around girls and being around trans sisters and being around my type of people, and people who, and also I finally had some people who I can relate to when it came down to dating, when it came down to men, when it came down to going out, when it came down to getting ready. It's nothing like you, the only girl in a house full of boys, because baby, they're going to rush you into you know, they really gonna rush you, and those are the nights when you don't look cute. You know what I'm saying? Now they are getting better. Now I have been some places and the boys have really waited, but I have been in situations where I was rushed so bad that I kind of walked out looking like a pure monster. It's no shade, okay? It's none. So, with that being said, like, I started feeling this new dynamic. I was able to, if I didn't have no makeup, I can go run upstairs and grab something, or if I didn't have this, they can come down. If they didn't have this, like we can share purses and jewelry and belts and I never had that for a long time, you know? And it was crazy because I ended up getting that dynamic once I moved in with those girls. And it made me find a new appreciation and find a new love for the girls. Like, no shade. I don't know if we have an intimidation towards each other, but I think that we automatically think that we're going to judge each other. I think that's mainly the big thing for us girls, is that we think we're going to judge each other. We think it's going to be something, and a lot of times it's not. We relate to the same things. We go through a lot of the same issues, you know what I'm saying? From the prettiest to the realest, to the ones who are living in their true selves and don't mind about aesthetics and looks. We all go through, and 9 times out of 10, we may not go through all the same issues, but some of those issues, we go through the same. Some of those issues, it don't matter what you look like. It's gonna happen. So that's why I was really able to find some people who I really was like, oh my God, I relate to them. I love this. So with that being said, transitioning on to Houston, I came here with such an open mind to girls. Like, I was so ready to have a sister and have girls, and I came here with such a free spirit of meeting girls. I never had that before. I always wanted to just be around the boys. The boys understood me, girl. I can joke and I can be rough and I can play and I can read the way I like to read while people misunderstanding me, which that was a big thing. I always felt misunderstood in a certain aspect when it came down to girls. So, with that being said, like, I came here really wanted to find them, and I found some. I really did. I found some really amazing, and to be honest, a lot of girls haven't met here in Texas. Houston especially had been pretty nice, pretty open, and but Chastity is somebody who stood out like a shining star. Like she popped out and it was like, oh, I love you too. Like it was crazy. Like we had just instantly connected. Then I met, a couple other people like Jamie. That was one of the girls I met. Jador. I met some amazing girls here who have such sweethearts, who are genuinely nice. Like it's no shade, like genuinely nice. So I was so happy that I was able to open up myself and meet these girls. But when it came down to the boys, now everything has switched. Now I feel like now I feel like they're trying to compete with me, or now I feel like the boys don't really want me around, or they don't understand me. I went from a totally different dynamic now. Now they feel like, oh no, that y'all are the girl, and we gonna say like it became a divide almost when I finally took my chair. You take your chair, you like you drag across the floor over to the other side. When I finally took my chair from in that mental lane and slid it over to the side that I knew I identified with, which was the side with the girls, all the perspective of me and the boys changed. They treated me different. Things were said different. It was also, and this is leading me back to my organization. This is the main reason why I think they didn't respect me like they should have, because I was a transsexual, and I think that and these gay organizations. And I'm not even going to say gay organizations, I'm sorry, these organizations that are built within the LGBT community, especially the Black LGBT community, which harbors and is a safe place for people who enjoy Greek but don't want to be bashed by these mainstream organizations, and they go to these organizations for refuge, to have a place of being. That's what these are. Before I hear anything about anything, that's what they are. They are to seek something peaceful and kind. These people are doing more community service than a lot of these people. So it's no shade. So with that being said, that's the main reason why I feel like my organization treated me a certain way, or I didn't get the respect that I deserved because I was a girl. They felt like, in some aspects, people felt like I didn't deserve the things that I had or the position that I got. And people thought I worked hard, but it was so crazy because my chapter, because I was the chapter president, but as well as being a chapter president, I sat on the national board. And my chapter, no shame, we held the most events, we did the most things, we were the most active, and it's no shame. And I was penalized for that. People treated me wrong for that because they felt like we thought we were better than, or we thought we was this and we thought we was that. No, what I was doing, I was setting the pace for everybody else. I was showing them a blueprint so somebody could say, well, I didn't, and think about it, y'all, this is a new organization, this is all what it is. These people are like, well, I don't know what to do, da, 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 da. So it was almost like setting a blueprint or setting a pace. I'm sorry, y'all, about my background noise if it's noisy. I was trying to set a pace so that we can all follow that trend. Why would I want to see my organization fall? Why would I want to be the only thriving chapter? Why? Why would I be the, why? So anyway, I'm baffled now because I don't understand why I'm put into the predicament that I was put in, treated the way I was treated, for something that was not a big deal. No shade. I was put through the ringer. I hope, I dropped my thumb. I hope to have a sit down with a few of these girls on Coco'shouse, and we can talk about some of this stuff. I don't want to really go in too deep about it, but I hope to have a sit down so y'all can really get the real tea, because it needs it. Period. It needs it. Anyway, so I'm I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna round this video on off because it needs to be. So, I'm gonna leave it at this. I love my friends. I love the people who I love. The people who I don't have that strong connection to, I still love y'all too. We still have a bond because a lot of these people who I'm not connected to, I have shared some dramatic moments with. And one person though in particular, you know who you are. We have been through a lot. So I love you in a weird way, and you know that. So I have friends. I love all my friends. I don't want to make this video out to be a bashing of people or a bashing of something, but this was something I wanted to vent about just because this subject has been coming up a lot as far as friendship, as far as the Greek organizations, as far as all of that. And I would love to sit down with some of the, my ultimate goal is to sit down with one of these Greek organizations and put them on my show and have people actually see the amazingness about them. And I also would love to sit down with my organization and some of the members who, you know, I would like to sit down with some of them too so we can have our own separate thing, a sit down 1, 2, 3. No shade, because we need it. So in this video, I just want to say I love everybody. I love hard and I love too hard. I am who I am. I'm a friend's friend type of girl. I will love you to the end. I will fight for you to the end. I am truly who I am. No shade. And I used to be a person where I wanted to change who I was to fit in. I was a follower. Let me say that. I was a follower at one point. I wanted to fit in so bad. I wanted to be friends with certain people so freaking bad that I literally seen it in a whole different way. I literally want to be friends with people so freaking bad. Like, it literally was sad. How I tried to fit in, how I tried to do certain things, how I tried to act a certain way. And I knew genuinely in my heart that I wasn't a lot of those ways that I tried to act. I knew genuinely in my heart that some of those ways was not for me. So when you find your friends, when you find, and this is for my people out here, when you decide and when you finally find people who you think and truly are your friends, you should never have to alter who you are. You should never have to change who you are. They should never make you feel bad for who you are. If they're your friends, they're going to automatically accept you, absorb you, because they have them same feelings. You'll know who your friends is. You'll know your friends when you meet them. Don't think that they have to be a certain thing, and don't think they have to have a certain type of money or anything like that, because 9 times out of 10, when you find the friends with the wrong intentions, those be the ones that do you the worst. When you find those friends who you force to be friends with, or you force a friendship upon them, a lot of times it's not gonna work out. So be kind to people, be nice, love them, treat them right. If you're gonna be friends with somebody, treat them right. If you're gonna deal with somebody, treat them right. Have some respect, because it really does not have to take all of that for you to really realize, oh, okay, I did them wrong. Or it shouldn't take a whole lot of stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to send this off. I know I was supposed to end it a second ago, but that's all right. You know how you vent a little bit more. I'm going to end this off. I want to say I love you all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sitting here and watching Coco'shouse. Just like, let me say something. I don't know if y'all like this. This had me lost for words. This orange creamsicle Twizzlers is the tea. Put them in the refrigerator and. But like I said, I love y'all. Hope to see y'all soon. Thank you for being in the Cocoa House. Come on in. Come on over anytime y'all want. This brings some food. No shade. Come on over to Coco's House. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all. Bye.